Hello and welcome to our reading session, Moonwalk. For a very quick revision before we start discussing the pages. The comprehension skill here is drawing conclusion, which means that I use what I already know and then I use details from the text to figure out what people will do or say in the story or in any text I am reading. Move on to the vocabulary. The first word is loomed, and loomed means a very large and threatening. And this is a crack or a valley on the moon, which is a rill, as like a bad word we say to calling him small. And the word staggered means wavered and to calling upon or stirring to action is the word some. And then when somebody laughs at the others or laughed at the other and jeered at or mocked, we call this taunted. And a deep furrow or ditch is certainly a trench. Okay, and when you walk with effort and in a very fatigued way, it's trudged. And now we go to page 300. We have discussed the other pages before. We have read we have read that we have read before that these two boys were left in. These are the meanings of the words we have discussed: scrambled, moved or climbed hastily; gully, small valley or trench; sprawl, to lie or sit with arms and legs spread out; scraped, move in sliding contact with a rough surface; conscious means awake. Page 301. Vern, the older brother, didn't answer. He tapped one hand against his helmet. So you remember, of course, that they are wearing a space suit, like these astronauts suits with a helmet. And what's inside the helmet? You know that there is oxygen, and the suit keeps them warm because it's very cold. Okay, and also a device that transmits the voices. So his radio's out. Radio, this is the device that makes them listen to each other. His radio's out. Jerry understood. With no air on the moon, we have discussed this before, that there is no air on the moon. That's why they cannot hear each other. They have to use these devices, radio devices. With no air on the moon to carry sound, the only way to talk was through the suit radios. Unless they could touch helmets. Okay, so they are touching their helmets. He leaned over and pressed his helmet against Vern's. So they are touching Vern and Jerry are touching each other's helmets with the two helmets to be able to hear each other. Can you hear me now? No electricity in my suit. No air fans. So everything in his suit has stopped. The air, the radio, and the heat. So he has nothing. No air fans, no radio, nothing. You must have banged up your backpack. Your backpack, Jerry said. Knocked the batteries loose or something. So how does this suit work? How does it It is provided with electricity from batteries. Batteries provide electricity to these spacesuits. You must have banged up your backpack. You hit your backpack. And what's inside this backpack? It's the battery. Knocked the battery loose or something means that the battery moved from its place. I won't have any air to breathe. Vern sounded scared. Now Vern is scared because there will be no air for him to breathe. He's gonna die. Without electricity, the moon suit's air circulation pumps couldn't work. You know, the circulation means that the air moves inside the space suit, and the pump is like a fan that produces air. And this device will not work with because there is no electricity. Neither could the radio. Yes,